What's up? It's Jason Hamburg. Today is awesome because my mom's coming riding with me. Well, kind of. Me and my mom are going suspension testing. I'm kind of running a similar suspension setup that I've had for the last couple of years, and I think what's happened is my overall speed has just risen a little bit. And so I'm not kind of operating in the stroke of the travel that I want to be operating in, and it's just like a little wishy-washy and just not super confidence inspiring. So I'm going to try going up in my clickers and just see how that feels, and that'll be the day. I forgot my underpants, so today is going to be cold and my legs will hurt at the end. Zooms. Dad cam zooms.
Sweet.
Mom cam zooms.
Yeah.
Kind of done a few laps now, just trying to feel out where my bike feels good, where it feels bad. So I'm going to go a little bit more compression. I'm thinking I'm going to go up like 4 clicks across the board on my front and rear. And then I'll ride those sections a couple times, feel the difference. And really that's all that suspension testing is. I mean, it gets a lot more complex. You then start dealing with rebound, you start dealing with you know, valving and oil and all that stuff. But if you're just out on the trail and want to experiment and see how you can make your bike feel better, this is the easiest place to start, is just start kind of like messing with your clickers. So that is what we'll do. The front end definitely feels better, like this section right over here where it's kind of downhill and there's a lot of like bumps and chop and stuff. I can feel that I'm able to push a little bit faster through those bumps without running into issues of just blowing through or the bike feeling wallowy. The one thing that I'm feeling though, I went up the same amount in the rear, and I now find that my ass end is basically just a little bit too stiff, and so when I'm climbing, I can feel like a little bit of loss of traction. So I'm going to try backing the rear end off just 2 clicks, go 2 clicks softer on the rear, and then just see if I can kind of strike a balance. So keep that front end a little bit stiffer and then not lose as much on the rear end. And so that's what I'm going to do now. And then again, we'll just try it. Yeah, it's feeling better. That change helped settle the back end down a little bit and kind of just like helped it get a little bit of traction, which is good. This section here I was struggling with a lot yesterday, and kind of is what sparked me wanting to come out and do some testing today. It's basically like a double step down ledge thing. Going down, you get to that flat spot and you know, you just blow right through the stroke. And then similarly with going up, I would kind of bottom out when I first started to go up. And then what happens is you bottom out, the suspension unloads, you're like weightless. You almost kind of have to hesitate before your bike settles back down and you can go again. And I think I was losing a lot of time there. So I'm hoping that being a little bit stiffer, it's gonna, you know, suck up that initial G out a little bit better, and then ideally just make life easier. I'm gonna hit this a couple times, both going that like forward and backwards, and see how it feels comparatively to yesterday. So it is definitely way better in that G-out spot, both going down and going up. Like the front end holds up better and feels a lot more confident, but it's a little more darty just on some of the smaller square edge stuff. So I'm actually going to back these off just a couple clicks. So I'll go back to 2 clicks back. I think that might be the equal balance between keeping a little bit of hold up and not feeling kind of quite as scary on those G-outs. So that is suspension testing. Probably not done the professional way, but just my take on it. I'd say the biggest things to think about when you're going to do this is, for starters, write down what your current settings are, so that if you, at any point you're like, I don't know where I started, I don't know what I got going on, you can always go back to your baseline setting. So write your stuff down. Say number 2, don't be afraid to try things. It's going to take time to feel 2 clicks difference, but if you're just starting out, go like 10 clicks difference and just see what that actually does. If you've never played with clickers before, that will make a big difference. And then the third thing that I think is important to consider is try to keep it consistent. If you're just clicking things and continuing to ride down the trail and go for this big like loop, you're not necessarily going to be feeling the same terrain every single time. So choose like a small section of trail, build a little loop like this, go to a track is a good place to kind of do some testing if you're kind of leaning toward that kind of riding. And try to keep it consistent. Hit the same line over and over and over again so that you're minimizing how many variables are changing. So yeah, those would be the 3 things that I think you should consider. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other things you should consider too. But yeah, for now, if you have questions, let me know in the comments. And yeah, until next time, thank you.